Hello. One of the issues in transition that can appear but don't need to happen is that when we go through transition, our relationships change. The more you grow, the more you expand, and however you do that, whether it is increasing streams of income for small and medium sized businesses or moving to another organization, our relationships change when we grow, when we shift, when we transition into a different way of doing things. Part of that is because when you are growing as yourself, when you are moving into a higher level of authority or a different way of expressing yourself, those who knew you in a different way, knew who you used to be, relate to the person you used to be. They don't know how to relate to the person you've become or you're in the process of becoming. I had a school for 19 years, and it was a 4-year program in integrative healthcare. And every year I would tell my students, they were physicians, nurses, occupational therapists, and so forth. And every year I would tell them, I want you to know that this year you're going to be losing a few friends. And the reason I said that is because as they grew, as they changed their perception, as they changed their understanding of life, as they changed their understanding of themselves, they did relationships differently. They walked differently in the world. They saw themselves differently. They saw the world differently. And in doing so, folks who used to vibrate, if you will, at the same level they did, folks who used to resonate with the same interests, the same ways of looking at life, were now doing it differently because my student would be growing, would be changing. And what I've seen with so many of my clients is the same thing. If you worked for one organization and then you move to another, you're creating a whole new set of relationships, a whole new set of connections. It's a real smart move, if you can, to stay in relationship with those from the old place. However, your time is shifting. Your focus is shifting. So what you're going to be thinking about or working with on a day-to-day basis shifts. That creates changes over here in the original spot. And what you will see is as you share with them who you're becoming, some of those are going to fall away. Some because there's not as much time invested in the relationship. Some because you've changed how you're doing things, especially if you use transition as a time to redefine how you want to do your life, who you want to become, and how you want to do leadership now in a different way, one that supports you more. What also happens is your relationships at home. If you are truly shifting who it is you want to be, you want to drop that heavy burden you've been carrying and look at your leadership in a different way. Perhaps bring in more collaborative leadership, bring in more folks who are doing things differently. You're going to have a different relationship with those at home. It may be far better. It may be far more real, far more honest. And that is either going to strengthen your relationships or challenge them. And now the choice becomes how much do you want to invest in those relationships? That's up to you as well as your partner, as well as your children, perhaps. Transition always creates change. And in small and mid-sized companies, if you're developing multiple streams of income or you're expanding the size of your company, you're going to be thinking of yourself differently. You're going to have different ways of expressing the same solid values that represent who you are. But as you walk differently, it's going to impact the people in your life. Some will fall away. Some will come on even stronger than you realized. It's the same, unfortunately, when you get a divorce. It's amazing how folks you thought were dear friends disappear. Folks you thought were friends on the side become much closer, much more supportive, much more present to you. And as you grow and change, you realize how you do relationship with those folks shifts as well. So whether your transition is moving to a new organization, it is changing how you run your own business, or it is dealing with the breakup of a marriage, the breakup of a long-term relationship. Who you are shifts and changes. Transition calls that out of you, because the more you grow to become who you want to be, the more uncomfortable you make some of the people in your life who were safe or comfortable, even if it wasn't working, safe and comfortable in the old way. And when you start wanting things in your life to work smoothly, better, and more expansive, more freeing way, those who like the safety of the old way, even what doesn't work, are going to be challenged. So you need to be ready. Whenever we choose to grow, we need to be ready, because so much more in our life is going to be changing, I believe, for the better. It's more freeing, it's more exciting. But no, transition is an adventure that changes everything in who we are. Have a great day. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.